Good morning, folks. Well, we'll go for a ride and a chat, talk about a few things, a few obvious things. But first and foremost, good morning, welcome to the channel. I've stuck in the sat nav that I want to go for about a 110 mile route, 110 mile ride, round trip, heading northwest. Calculate a random route, see what she's delivered us. So if you're still here after the intro, we'll see what kind of thing she turns out for us. See you in a minute, folks. Roll that tape. As I said, good morning and welcome. Thank you for sticking around. Thank you for sticking around the channel as well. Well, today is going to be very strange, I should think. Just me and my precious lady out. I don't really expect to see much traffic out. Basically, we're all sharing this thing together. This COVID-19 coronavirus, and it is getting very worrying. I'm going to be positive because that's who I am and that's what I do. I always like to be positive with things, but I am genuinely worried about the future and wherever this corona pandemic is going to take us. But I didn't want to make the video about that. Hence the reason getting out my beautiful lady and going for a completely random ride. We'll come back to the COVID thing in a sec. But yeah, it's going to be completely random because I'm using a new sat nav app. You might be familiar with it. I don't know. It's called Calimoto. Recently I was at the Excel London Motorbike Show, and happily I was chatting to a guy called Simon Weir. For those of you that don't know Simon Weir, he's the man that wrote this book, and I've done many of rides from said book. I'd been asked to go down and chat about the American series. And then realised on the paperwork that they put me in a hotel room with Simon Weir, and I thought, this is fantastic. I get to chat to the man that wrote the book, and it's such a great guy and very, very knowledgeable. Simon, if you're watching, my friend, it was a pleasure to meet you and a pleasure to chat and basically talk bollocks for a couple of days about music and everything else that we do. It seems like we've got a lot of things in common, but mate, it was a pleasure. Anyway, we're chatting to Simon about sat-navs and things like that, and he suggested a few, and this Calimoto popped up, and at the time I'd never heard of it. The more I looked into it, the more I loved it. It was actually Bruce Smart from Teapot One, he mentioned it as well. We were both at the show together, and it's not just like a normal sat-nav app where, you know, you decide yourself where you're going to go. As I said at the beginning, you can just put into it, you know, if you just want to be completely random, or you want it to calculate you a certain route which might take you to places that you've never been. I thought that was brilliant. I thought that was brilliant because, again, sometimes on the roads that you end up on that you've never been before, you end up having a fantastic ride. And as you know, this is my playground and I ride this all the time. That's just took me on a little shortcut. Yeah, so you can just basically say, I want to go for a 50-mile ride or 200-mile or whatever, and you can put, you know, you want it to be a round trip or you want it to be a one-way. So if let's say we've got a hotel booked in such a place, so point A to B, but then you wanted it on the way there, you wanted to have a really decent ride. You can select curvy route or really curvy route, and I'm at the moment on the curviest route, and I've selected it for a round trip, heading northwest and seeing what comes out of the tin. And it's nice because I've not looked at the route at all, and I don't know where it's going to take me. I quite like it. It just gives me a chance to not really think about where I'm going or worry about where I'm going, but I can just chat. And I think it's pretty cool, actually. This is my very first time using it, so at the moment I say it's pretty cool. If it turns out to be crap, then I'll tell you. But I love the idea, and I think it's going to be really good. I'm going to try it out, and hopefully going to love it. It's a very nice interface, nice and clean. So yeah, we shall see. Anyway, back to the obvious. You know, when things like the pubs were closed last night in the UK, pubs, restaurants, cafes, they've said for like the last week or two, avoid them and don't go to them to help contain the virus. People have not been, in the UK, people have not been taking it seriously at all. I've got mates, I'm sure they'll watch this and agree with me, but I've got mates that have been going to the pub every day and just meeting up at the pub, thinking, using the mentality that, well, they've not forced us to stop going yet. They've not told it, you know, they've not said it's closed. They've just asked us not to go. And I'm like, well, you shouldn't be going. It's government advice, and up until yesterday, not enforced, to not go to public places. And they were like, yeah, but you can go shopping. There's loads of people at shopping. Yeah, but you have to go shopping to live. You don't have to go to the pub, and you don't have to go to a restaurant. Just sit at home. I just don't think we in the UK have been taking it seriously, and I'm very worried that obviously Italy's had it very bad, but they've been doing as they're told. So I think we're going to struggle more than Italy, and I'm really worried about it. I'm sure we're all going to suffer somewhere. You know, even if we don't get ill, that we're going to suffer financially, and you know, people are going to lose jobs. It's just going to be a very testing time for us all over the next coming months. So I just wish people would take it seriously and do your thing. I mean, TMF posted a video yesterday, great video actually, but mentioning the kind of things I'm mentioning now. You know, there's other things that you have to think about. You know, one, we're not taking it seriously. Just do your own bit, do your bit for everybody else. You know, don't go stockpiling crap at home. You don't buy 10,000 rolls of toilet roll. I mean, what if you've done that? Come on, just stop it. I just don't get it. People are just like they've gone into like selfish mode, thinking I'm all right, Jack. I don't care about you. Well, people stockpiling, you're depriving other people from just the very basics that they need, and you're just sat there at home with like 3 months worth of toilet roll, probably more, and all the other things in the shop. I mean, I've never seen supermarkets in the state they're in. Yeah, I was walking around the other night. I went on my own, and I was just shaking my head the whole way around. I was just shaking my head. It's just bizarre, the things that people are doing. And the other thing is, really, you know, the hospitals and the NHS are almost at breaking point. And I've spoke to people, I've got family that work for the NHS, you know, and they've been in tears at the state of it and how much they're struggling with it. Again, it's like we should be doing our bit to help in any way we possibly can. Just help in any way we possibly can. Even little things like what I'm doing now, riding. The NHS is at breaking point. The last thing they need is an influx of bikers that have come off the bike. So if you do go for a ride, just be careful. Just be careful. Take your time and just enjoy the freedom of riding your bike rather than going for a, you know, warp speed racetrack style of ride. But it is a very strange time. So, something obviously none of us in our lifetime, I would say the vast majority of us, have never seen anything like what we're going through at the moment. Really is very worrying. I've just heard some other terrible news as well. Sat eating my breakfast, asking Alexa to read me the news. Kenny Rogers has passed away this morning, yesterday. Country legend. Islands in the stream, that is what we are. Oh man, I'm gutted. Rest in peace, Mr. Rogers, and thank you for all the music you've given us all. The night dropped deathly quiet. Face lost all expression. I'll have to play the gambler when I get home. Right, let's snap out of this, folks. I'm going on a downer. Rest in peace, Mr. Rogers. And everybody else, please take care of yourself and your families. Do your bit. Please let me know what it's like where you are in the world, wherever you are, because, you know, this is something that's gripped the whole world, so we are sharing this together. It's nice to be out on this lovely, lovely bike. Forget how smooth that V4 is. The gearbox is precise and tight. I'm loving that people are still snapping VFRs up. I love it. It just shows you what an awesome machine it is, and a very sought after one too. On that note, I need to add, Gaz has sold his. He decided that he had an itch that he needed to scratch, so he's got rid of his beloved VFR. It's gone to another member of the Wildbad family, I believe. I think it's James who's bought it. Good luck, James. I'm sure you'll love it. Do let us know. Gaz has treated himself to a BMW XR 1000. So well done, Gaz, on that. You will of course be excluded from any photo shoot here on out. You can be outcast. But yeah, I'm going to try and keep things light, folks. You know, we're all suffering, and it's doom and gloom for everybody, every one of us. So I don't want to be Mr. Doom and Gloom, so I'll continue to do my videos as normal, as much as I possibly can. I know I've got loads of stuff at home still that I've never even produced, so might be some really old videos popping up that kind of don't make sense in terms of, you know, real time. But, you know, if we do get locked down and we are asked or told not to go out at all, then, you know, we'll have no choice but to produce some old stuff. But yeah, I've got tons, so don't worry. And yesterday was the first official day of spring here in the UK. I've said it a million times, I love springtime. It's the first sign of, let's get the bike out. You know, the weather's going to start getting lovely, the trees are going to start looking lovely. You can hear the birds tweeting early in the morning. The clocks go forward next weekend, I think. 29. Yeah, that's the thing about this sat nav. I want it to take me on something that I've never been on. This bike feels so smooth. I've not really ridden it since Steve sorted her out for me up at Steve Scott Motorcycles. Okay, we don't normally come this way, so let's see. I know I have been up here, but not for a long time. Can't really remember anything about it. I'd love to start getting back to normal videos again, but like I say, we've got to wait and see what we can and can't do as you know, the general public. Very strange to be saying the words, really. It's just surreal, very surreal. Last was it a couple of weekends ago, we went to the annual C2C Country Festival in London at the O2. I kept saying to the lads, this is before it had really kicked off, there were no signs of any shutdowns or anything like that yet. I kept saying to the lads, oh, no events had been cancelled up to this point. It was just the point where Trump had stopped flights from Europe into the States, in and out to Europe, not the UK but Europe. I kept saying to the lads, this could quite possibly be cancelled, you know, because obviously it's country to country. So Nashville's superstars, so there's a lot of American artists. This could quite easily be cancelled, and this is something we look forward to every year. I love this weekend. You have Thursday night songwriters series, which is an amazing night. It's like an audience with like 4 or 5 of some of the leading songwriters in Nashville, you know, that have written some of the biggest hits for the artists. That's the Thursday night. Then the actual show, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, the big arena show. And anyway, so we got down there on the Thursday, dinner time, met up with Andy, TMF, at Covent Garden for some beers. It's kind of an annual thing now. And then whilst we're having beers at Covent Garden, we got the email through saying the songwriters had been cancelled, because a few of the writers had pulled out. So I was really gutted about that, thinking the songwriters have been cancelled. Oh well, at least the rest of the show's on. And then, you know, a couple of hours later, another email. Due to the coronavirus outbreak and travel restrictions, the show has now been postponed. They use the word postponed. So I'm hoping, well, I think again, something that's that massive, and all the bill, you know, the artists that were on each night, the bill, there's no way they could logistically set that back up again. So instead of like refunds or anything like that, I was just saying, just roll the tickets to next year. Just roll the tickets to next year's event. Saves the hassle. Everyone's got a place for next year, and you know, that's it. So I'm hoping that's what they do. But we'll see, eh? Yeah, gutted. But that really was the start of it. So we lost all our hotel money for the weekend. 4 nights in London. Ooh, never been up here before. Here we go. This is the first of maybe a few. Right. Yeah, that was the first of events really to stop, to be cancelled. So it's just the next morning we're driving home, and we're all like not really saying anything, just sat there. And it's at that point that you thought, this feels weird now. You know, a higher power has been involved, and you know, stepped in and said no, that's it. So then you think, like, you know, think of the, I think that's moving. You think of like the arena fully set up, the stage all set up, the show ready to go, and then, you know, all the people that built it have now got to go back in and take it straight down without even a single footprint on it. So it's weird, very weird. But I would like to hear your stories and how you feel about it and what you feel about it. This is a nice curvy road. I've never been here before, I don't think, anyway. That's a good start. What on earth? Going off here. You never pulled up to talk. Jesus. You stood there talking on the wrong side of the road. Montsaled. Ah, okay. Okay. I know where y'all at. 3 degrees. Not even noticed it was that cold. Just have a look here a minute. Just have a stop in a. Said it a million times, and I'm not just saying this because it's my pride and joy. That is still one of the best looking bikes on the road. I'll never ever part with this bike, ever. It's just so perfect, such a perfect machine. I don't think it looks dated at all. I think it looks stunning. I really do. The angles and the lines are just so perfect. Yeah, what a special bike, and this one in particular, to me. Hello, Shibi! Hello! Hey, they're coming, look, my pals are coming. Hello. I don't know if that's the sheep speak. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Bye bye, sheepy. I've got to go. I'll see you next time. Thank you for watching. Bye bye. Hey, in these post-apocalyptic times, folks, my fans are all there. Look. Bye bye. See you next time. Now then, where are we? Let's have a look. We're on the Baslow Road. Stone in Middleton, Carver, Stockport, Manchester. Yeah, if ever there was a time where we need to come together as human beings and do our bit instead of fighting the government every step of the way, all this Brexit thing, you know, divided everybody completely, and everyone's like starting to like fall out with each other because of which way you went or whatever. You know, if ever there was a time that we need to come together. Oh no, come together right now over me. Yeah, now is the time. Now is the time. We need to all be on the same page. Be nice to each other, help each other, do whatever we can for each other. Look after our old generation. Keep them safe. None of us want to get this bloody terrible bug. The sad facts are that we're going to. Someone's going to. But yeah, pay attention to the self-isolating and looking after yourself. Don't just sit in the pub with your mates. Even though we can't sit in the pub with our mates now anyway. But that's a good thing. Not in terms of pub trade, obviously, in that business, and it's just something we've got to do. Let's ride it out. China's now showing no new cases. And that's been, what, a couple of months tops, I think? So it's going to be a rocky road, but, you know, I think something good will come out of it. It's like pressing the reset button on the world. It gives us chance to rebuild everything. A nicer world moving forward. That's what I hope, anyway. Okay, so this is the first point, 'cause it dished out 4 points of a route, and this is the first point, so let me see how we move forward through it. Okay, yeah, it's just come and gone, that's good. Yeah, there's a petrol station at the bottom of here, that's good. Thank you very much. We've got our annual season opener trip to Aberystwyth. We've brought it forward this year. Normally we're early May, I think, but because I was so desperate to get on the season as soon as it opened, as soon as it started, like I say, yesterday was the official first day of spring, but our annual season opener trip is booked for the 17th of April. Now that's where are we now? It's about 3 weeks away, is it? And although I've not heard anything about the campsite, it's camping, so I can't see it really being an issue, but I have to play it by ear. I'll be gutted if it does get cancelled, because I am so desperate, you know, to get back out on the road again. And have I been riding all this time with that open? I think I haven't. Please don't say there's batteries missing. Camera and everything, folks. I do that all the bloody time. It's not hard, is it? Pull your zips together, you muppet. Yeah, so the season opener's coming up, and I'll be gutted if we have to cancel it. We've got the Wild Bad Weekender at the end of the summer, so I'm pretty sure that's going to be fine. That's the end of July. Just going to ride it out and see how it goes. There's no. I spoke to the venue last night. There's no issues at the moment. We've sold about half of the tickets. All your ticket money's safe. Don't worry about that. So don't panic. And I think that will be fine. So. That's the end of the summer, so there's that, and then we've got Picos, how we normally do, the beginning of October, so can't see that being an issue at all. But again, we'll have to play it all by ear and see what the governing bodies say. But I tell you something, what it has made me realise, you know, at the moment with the sort of lockdown, and you know, you can't fly anywhere, you can't sail anywhere, you can't well, you can't move anywhere. And it has made me realise that, you know, all these years of going abroad, it became the norm. I remember the very first time I went abroad on the bike, and it was so special. It was so special. I can't believe I'm going abroad on my motorbike. And it was just so magic. I just soaked up every little bit of this new land that I'm seeing, you know, and that I've taken myself there. And over the years, you know, it's just kind of become, it's still fantastic, don't get me wrong, but it's kind of become, oh, just going to Spain again, or just going to Norway, or just going to America, or whatever, you know. And you kind of, it's made me realise that we've massively taken these things for granted, you know, being able to move that freely around the globe. And now we can't, you know, and who knows if it'll be ever that free again in future. But I do think it'll be something good will come out of it. I know it. We're collectively pressing the reset button, taking stock of what we have and starting again. Yeah, you alright?
Battery is dead, I need to pump start it.
No problem.
Have you ever bumped before?
Yeah.
Can I get you to do the bump and I'll help push?
No problem. Could I just fill up first, and then I can move my bike out of the way? Yeah, I'll help you, no problem. Gonna go and help this lady bump start a bike. That's another thing, folks, gloves. Morning.
Hello.
Number 7, please.
£18.50. Are you self-isolating and all?
Within here, yeah. Sorry about that. What's happened then? Has it? Oh dear. It just won't turn over then, no?
No, it's just kind of...
Well, I'm really glad I helped you. No, well, fingers crossed you're alright.
Yeah, fingers crossed.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
No problem. Sat-nav just said, you've been on the road for more than 1 hour. Oh, that's cool. It's giving you the camera button within the sat-nav, so saves you coming out of your navigation to take photos, which is very good. I like that. And it probably then would save your photo to your route, along your route. That's good. Good. Oh yes, good. I might make a good photo for self-isolation. Brilliant. I love that. That's brilliant. Brilliant, that is. I hope that does save it to your camera roll, because they were good photos, huh? You've already gained 3,550 feet in elevation. Oh, so far so good with this app. I like it. I've been around this area only a couple of times, and I really like it. Bolsterstone. It's not at all on my normal radar, if you like. So, yeah, I'm glad it's done this. I love that you can choose, obviously, for it to calculate its own curvy random route, and you can choose how many miles you want to ride, but also in which direction, because it'll give you a different route nearly every time. Security. Is it? No, it's not security. It is security. Directing people around the car park because they expect it. What's all this stuff all over the floor? And now all over my tyres. Show security. What? They've got event security in the car parks of Aldi. Wow. I'm pretty sure it's telling me to come up here and go all the way around and then back out again. It is. This is the anchor point. Oh, it's a little bit silly. These are supposed to be intelligent anchor points as well. Just pulled up at the side of the road to put some new batteries in, and I paused. There's a little pause thing on the navigation lot. Press pause. And do you want to pause the route or stop the route? So I just put pause. So I've just done a few bits and bobs, Instagram, what have you, just checking in on everything, and then I just went to put it back on and press resume, and he went right on. Little things in life, folks. It's the little things. Let's go. Let's do as the man says and right on. I'm really enjoying this completely random ride. I think I'm about as far away from home at the moment as this route is taking me. As it's a loop, a round trip, halfway will be the furthest point away. So I do like it. I do like this app, and I'm looking forward to getting to grips with it a bit more, getting into all the nooks and crannies with it. It's nice when you find a new app. I've been using Google Maps for, well, I used to use Copilot for a long time, and then when the removed all the roaming charges in Europe, I don't know if that'll change now with Brexit and everything else is going off, but when they removed the roaming charges, I started using Google Maps, and it's been brilliant. I've loved it, and that's almost exclusively. Then I started using Waze a little bit, which is also good, but that doesn't have a multi-point. It's only A to B with one stop in the middle. But this, I'll spend some time with it and see how we go with it. It'd be cool if this becomes the new go-to. Some nice roads back here. Lovely to be out on dry roads, dry, clean roads. It's lovely, really lovely. Yeah, it's a good route. This is loads of roads I've not been on before. .78 miles I've done so far. So when I set off this morning, the bike was on 86,800 miles. Carlton in Lindrick. Another hour left of the route. Feels like I've done loads. Oh man, look at that place. Shit. I don't want to go off road. Oh, I could have a pee down here, couldn't I? Yes. Not very good road at all, is it? That's the difference, folks, with adventure bikes or sport tourers. This feels horrible, and look at it, it's not even really a bad road. It feels horrible. On the adventure, you'd have been nailing it along here. Middle of nowhere, no traffic. I am now 28 miles from home. No idea where I am. I like it a lot. But yeah, if you're on adventure now, I'd be nailing it down here. Weird, isn't it? How different genres can make your ride completely different. I think the test on this sat nav would be going on tour and using it. But this has been great, actually. The first half of the route, or the first third of the route, I knew exactly where I were because I was obviously leaving home, isn't it? But if you're out on tour and you're just selecting it to do the same thing you're not at all familiar with where you are, I think it'd do a very good job. They're not paying me, by the way, in any way to say that, saying it, they don't even know I'm making this video. I know some people seem to have a stick up their arse when it comes to stuff like that. I'm just basically trying out a new app, that's it. And one that I hope I can gel with and use in the future. Thorpe Salvin. No idea where I am, but I'm still... It says I'm only 20 mile away from home. Bloody hell. Lovely, 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 lovely. Look at this. Gorgeous. Right, well that'll about do, I think, folks. Only got 20 mile left, so... And going back to the COVID-19 thing, just everyone stay well, look after yourselves, look after your friends and family, do what you can for anybody, and do your bit to keep safe and contained. We'll be out of it in no time. Right, folks, I'm off. Be good, be careful, be kind. See you soon.